the word conversion or converted is a buzzword. You want to kind of avoid that, because if people, in fact, people will see us as missionaries and they'll say, "You're converting," and to us, that's almost like, well, yeah, it's a good thing, or we aspire to be converted to the Lord. But as Indians see, it's almost like a different meaning, and I think it has a historical. There's been some issues with maybe Christian churches paying people to stop being Hindu and to come to church now, and giving them saris, which is a kind of Indian woman clothing, saris, and they must be somewhat expensive. So they're giving out saris, food, money and that's called converting. And so, as for missionary safety, that's the big thing. There'd be groups, usually they're political groups that are very, they're tied to fundamentalist religious groups. And so they have concerns about Christian churches, especially missionaries. And so I remember one time, like you realize that they have you learn their symbols pretty quick, and I think the most obvious one was the color orange. There's a lot of orange in a certain political party, and they would put lotus flower. I think it was an orange lotus flower, if I remember right, and that was a kind of a symbol that this was an area that was dominated by this political party, or this was a building for their headquarters in that locality. And I remember one time walking by a house, and I thought it was just a bunch of houses, and I guess one of them was actually an office, and there was a bunch of men standing outside of this one story, very small little place. And it was me and an American companion, and we talked to everybody. And so there's these men outside this door, and I think someone called me inside. I kind of stepped into the door to see who it was and to say hi, and I kind of, it's typical way, just, "Hey, how are you doing? My name is Ella Jackson," and there's this man sitting at this desk, and he had these two men behind him, a number of men along the walls. There were men outside, and I didn't pick up on anything. I was like, "Oh, what an interesting situation." And I kind of was like, come on in. He wanted to talk to us. And I was like, okay. So I took a few steps in, and my companion grabbed me by the shoulder, and all he did was point. He pointed at the door. And I turned around and I saw the door had a picture of a lotus flower, orange lotus flower, or something like that. Some symbol that I recognized, and I thought, oh. And I knew immediately what he was saying, and I looked around the room and realized what the situation was I was about to get myself into. It was most likely I was going to go in, they were going to close the door and not let us out unless and what they would do is they'd make missionaries, and it happened to a few of the missionaries, sign documents saying, I was converting. I was paying people to do certain thing, and then they'd throw you in jail because they had the power to do that. And so that happened to a few missionaries. It never happened to me, and it probably would have happened to us had it not been for my companion being more aware. And I just politely said, "Oh, we have to go. See ya. Oh, where are you going? You should come and sit and talk with us." And it wasn't worth it. Maybe he really was interested, but it really wasn't worth it. So